Let's talk about Nickelodeon, the network that shaped generations. From the quirky orange logo to the unforgettable theme songs, Nickelodeon wasn't just TV, it was a movement. Today, we're diving into the evolution of Nickelodeon shows, from its scrappy beginnings in 1985 all the way to what it's cooking up in 2025. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for this. So, rewind to 1985. Nickelodeon was still figuring out its vibe. Back then, it wasn't the global powerhouse we know today. It was more like a weird experiment for kids. Shows like You Can't Do That on Television were wild. Slime, that's where it all started. If you said, I don't know, you were getting slimed. It was chaotic, unpredictable, and unlike anything on TV at the time. Nickelodeon was breaking all the rules. Then the late 80s hit, and we got Double Dare. If you didn't want to crawl through slime and whipped cream as a kid, were you even alive? This show basically made messiness cool, and that set the tone for what Nickelodeon would become in the 90s, the golden era. Now the 90s. This was Nickelodeon at its peak. I'm talking Rugrats, Doug, Hey Arnold, The Wild Thornberrys. Absolute bangers. These shows weren't just funny, they had heart. Take Rugrats. It wasn't just about babies crawling around. It was about adventure, imagination, and low-key life lessons. Hey Arnold? That wasn't just a football-headed kid. That was a philosopher in a flannel shirt. And then there's All That. It was basically SNL for kids, launching careers like Kenan Thompson's, who, by the way, is still killing it today. But it wasn't just cartoons. Legends of the Hidden Temple made every kid dream of taking on the temple run. And don't get me started on Are You Afraid of the Dark? That show made us terrified of campfires, but also oddly addicted to them. Nickelodeon wasn't just a network, it was building a culture. Fast forward to the 2000s, it was dominating with Hannah Montana and High School Musical. Nickelodeon's live-action shows were holding their ground. iCarly and Victorious were massive hits, but the vibe wasn't the same. Cartoons like Fanboy and Chum Chum were fun, but they didn't hit the cultural impact of their earlier shows. Nickelodeon was still strong, but you could feel it struggling to adapt. Then the 2010s arrived, and Nickelodeon was finding its footing again. Shows like The Loud House brought that classic Nickelodeon energy back. Chaotic, heartfelt, and wildly relatable. But the real game changer? Streaming. Nickelodeon partnered with Netflix and later leaned into Paramount Plus, which became their playground for reviving classics and trying new ideas. And this brings us to today. What's Nickelodeon doing in 2025? For starters, Avatar is back. A new animated movie is dropping, and fans are losing their minds. Nickelodeon knows it has lightning in a bottle with that franchise. Then there's Camp Corral and The Patrick Star Show, proving SpongeBob still has legs even after 2 decades. And let's not forget Big Nate. It's like Nickelodeon's younger audience has something fresh, while the older fans get hit with that sweet, sweet nostalgia. They're playing both sides of the fence, and honestly, it's working. Nickelodeon is making a comeback, adapting, experimenting, and reminding us why we fell in love with the orange splat in the first place. So, whether you grew up with Rugrats, screamed at Legends of the Hidden Temple, or are hyped for the new Avatar movie, one thing's clear. Nickelodeon isn't just a part of your childhood, it's part of who you are. And the best part? They're not done yet. Here's to the next chapter of slime, chaos, and unforgettable stories. So tell me, what's your favorite Nickelodeon show? Drop it in the comments. And hey, maybe it's time to rewatch a classic. Who's stopping you? Not me. Stay bold, stay messy, and stay nostalgic. I'll see you next time. Double asterisk.